you have a job or any steady flow of income?
No, I don't.
Absolutely not. No, I'd like to have a job, but I'm going to the Marine Corps, and that's going to be my job pretty soon.
No, I don't have a job. I go to school, and yeah, my mom just gives me money.
Nope, I don't have no job. No, they said I have to wait till I'm 16 to get a job.
I don't have a job, but I volunteer at a hospital, in the children's hospital, and I also volunteer in this assisted home thing.
I'm looking for a job. Actually, I don't have a job. No, I'm probably starting a job this summer.
I work at a Dollar Tree, so yes, I do have a job.
Yeah, I work at a pizza place.
We work at, it's like a catering place, kind of.
Yeah, I work in a restaurant, and I hostess, and I run food.
Yes, I work at Valley National Bank in the offices, and I do a bunch of different things. I do mail teller and lock boxes, a whole bunch of stuff. So yeah, that's my income for now, and my parents.
Well, I lifeguard in the summer at the Fairfield pool. I usually do pretty well with that. I work 40 hours a week, and during the school year, I don't have a job, but like I had a job for a couple months at a indoor pool, and I babysit a couple times. And once in a while, I'll work for my dad. Like when I have winter break, like he owns a scrap metal company, so I'll go with him. I'll load drums of metal into his truck. So no consistent job, but I generally pull in some money during the school year, and in the summer is when I make most of my money.
Do you have a job or any steady source of income?
And if you do, what do you do with your money?
A 2005 article in USA Today indicates that 40% of high school and college students don't work at all.
But according to the U.S. Department of Education statistics in 2004, 44% of teenagers between ages 16 to 19 work during the school year.
This number rises significantly during the summer.
About a third of all teens receive an allowance on a weekly or monthly basis.
While some say they get money from their parents as they need it,
others get paid for chores they do around the house, babysit for neighbors, or rely on gifts from relatives for their money.
So what are teenagers doing with all this money?
Do they save it or do they spend it? Are teenagers being responsible with money? That's what we'll be talking about today. Hi everyone, I'm Catherine.
And I'm Jack.
And this is Realfaith TV.
Of the teens we met on the street, about half of them said they had a job, while the other half didn't.
We will talk with them again later in the show and meet our spotlight guest, Nicole.
But first let's meet our studio guests and find out if they have a job or source of income.
They are Alex, Elias, Caitlin, Marissa, Jessica, and Jeff.
So does anyone here have a job or source of income?
I'm a receptionist at an office, actually, and I also get an allowance once a week. So,
I work at Friendly's as a hostess, and I like it, and I also babysit, which is pretty fun.
I babysit for a family in my town.
I counsel at a rec camp.
Well, I caddy at a country club, and that's pretty fun. It's an experience.
Yeah, I don't have a job. I do stuff around the house. I work around the house, I babysit, and you know, my mom pays for my clothes and stuff. She doesn't really pay me with money.
I've been traveling too much to work, really, so.
I don't really have a job yet. I'm in the process of trying to get one, but I babysit off and on, and my parents help me out a lot. What is money for?
Attitudes about money can range from indifference through needing it for the necessities of life.
To wanting it because of what you think it can do for you.
For some people, money is very important.
Earning money is the single most important reason for them in choosing what to do with their life.
What is your attitude about money?
Are you responsible with the money you have?
What would you do if you had $1 million?
Let's find out whether our spotlight guest Nicole considers herself to be responsible with money.
And if she had $1 million, what she would do with it?
I feel that I'm responsible with money because I don't go out and I don't spend it on things that I don't need or go on shopping sprees and just spend money for fun. I'm working 2 jobs right now. I have a summer internship at the Naval Base, and I also work part-time at TJ Maxx. And I just try to save my money for my trip that I'm going to take next summer to Italy, and also for college. I think that it's important to be responsible with money when you're a teenager so that you can carry it out for the rest of your life. Because some people might be like, it doesn't matter if I'm responsible with it now, because I'll just learn to be responsible later. But you can't just pick something up like that, because you might start a pattern and you won't be able to switch back over. But it's important to save, because in the future you might need that money and you might have wished that you didn't spend it on something at that time. I mean, yeah, obviously you still have to have fun and spend your money every once in a while and stuff, but you shouldn't be going overboard. Money isn't important to me because there are so many things that money can't buy, such as your friends and your family and being happy. And if I had $1 million, I would use it for college. I would buy a decent house and a decent car, and I'd probably save a good amount in the bank, and the rest of it I would donate to charity and to the needy.
I don't mean to sound overly self-righteous or anything, but the first thing I'd do if I had $1 million just drop out of nowhere is pay for an underprivileged child's surgery, or several, because I had surgery when I was little and I heard how expensive it was. And lately I've just been seeing all these shows on TV where organizations help children who can't afford it, and I would love to do that for someone.
If I had $1 million, I think I would give it to charity, like Nicole said, and help out my family, like pay off bills and just maybe like get rid of mortgage on the house. And I think that would help a lot of, and maybe even more of my family, like not just my immediate family, but my grandparents. I'd like to do that.
If I had $1 million, I think that the first thing I would do is just take a little bit and donate it to the crisis in Africa, just to help with that, because that seems to be a big issue now. And then for myself, I think I would buy a castle in Ireland, and maybe a little, like maybe a country house in England.
Yeah, I would take some of it and probably, give it to charity. But then I would kind of use the rest of it to kind of secure myself, college, house, then invest the rest if I had any left.
Yeah, definitely.
I would definitely want to put some of it away for my future, like in a 401k or a college fund even, because, I really want to go to a good school and I have to be able to put myself through that. But I would definitely want to give some to charity too.
I would invest most of it in charity and probably indulge a little bit and have some fun with it too in the beginning.
Yeah, I would definitely put it in charity along with everybody else, but I would probably put it towards my future, because the fields I'm in, they're not the most secure, so I definitely save some of it and make sure I have enough to get by before, I just have fun.
I'm not gonna lie, I'd be putting it all into like stocks and equities and stuff like that. And
You're smart.
That way later on I could have more millions to spend. You know what I mean? Like this way, I'd be secure and my money would be, all taken care of, and that way it'd build and everything. So anyway, back to reality. How do you spend your money? Are you responsible with it?
What do you spend it on?
Do you save it or share it?
Are you an impulse buyer, or do you plan your purchases?
That's what we ask the teens in the street.
Let's check it out.
What do you do with the money you have? How much do you save, spend?
I try and save half of it, and the other half I use to my own advantage for the weekends and to go out and do things.
Well, I don't get to keep any of the money that I have. I spend it on people. I spend it on my parents, and I spend it on, like household things and my girlfriend. And yeah, I don't have much money anymore. I'm poor.
I spend all of it. I don't really save money.
I put it all in the bank.
I spend most of mine.
I only get $20 a week, and that's for cleaning my dad's bathroom, so I pretty much go buy pizza with it.
I usually spend it on myself. If not, I do I wouldn't say donate, but I take my sister out sometimes, so I spend my money on her, and she never pays me back, but whatever. I don't really go out and buy extravagant things or go on a shopping spree, but just little spending money to be down the shore right now. Kind of, that's it.
Well, if I'm getting money and I'm helping somebody babysit or something like that, the most I'll get, really, since I'm young, I'll get maybe $30-something the most. If I do, I'll save it up something that I really want to do.
I'm saving it right now for college.
Normally I spend like half of it on things I need, and I save the other half up for college or stuff I'm gonna need in my future. And like if my great-grandmother needs something, I'll take it out of that and I'll go buy her whatever she needs.
I buy clothes or get a lot of food and go to the movies and the mall and stuff.
I try and save it and use it for something valuable, but it doesn't work all the time. I gotta use it.
I didn't used to save my money, and then I wanted to go on vacation this summer, so I started saving, and I saved $1,000 cash, and then we decided not to go, so I blew it on clothes in 4 days. But if I want to, I can save money, but I choose not to because I don't have a point to right now. So I just spend it on useless stuff.
A couple of the teens said they were saving for college.
Some saved half and spent the other half. That sounds pretty responsible to me.
Yeah, because saving is part of being smart about money.
It involves delaying gratification over a period of time in order to accomplish a long-term goal.
Learning to manage your money and saving it for later use is an important lesson for teenagers.
So, what do you want to do with your money? Do you save it or do you spend it?
I just started working this summer and I've only gotten 2 paychecks. So the first one, I didn't have a 401k or like I have a bank account, but it's not the right kind to put that kind of money in. So I need to open a new one and I haven't gotten around to doing it yet. So my first paycheck I sort of blew, but the second one I'm going to put a lot of it into savings.
I always saved because I had to buy my own car. But now that I've done that, all of it just goes into the car, whether it be insurance or gas, whatever. So I used to save, but not anymore.
Yeah, like I know I'm saving so I can have a little bit of money to put towards a car to show that I'm responsible and kind of like I've been trying and not just expected a car because I got a license, you know. But I was always taught to save, spend, and invest because you have to balance it out.
Well, right now I'm saving my money, but I really would like to be that girl that we saw who could just like blow all of her money. But right now I'm in a debt with my parents because I went to prom and I need to pay off like my dress and the limo and all that fun stuff. But hopefully I'll spend it soon.
I've been babysitting a lot, so actually over the weekend I opened my first savings account at the bank, and so I put all my money in there, and I'm going to save it now. I mean, just like, you know, here and there I'll have my money for my nails and stuff, but I'm really determined to save my money.
For me though, it's like I kind of earn my money to kind of spend it because I really don't have anything to save up for just yet. You know, my parents put a little away before I was born for college, and that just keeps on adding up. And you know, once like my relatives give me money, I'll put that away. But stuff, you know, that I get, I like to spend it just because I don't want to keep begging my parents for money.
Yeah, I'm a big money hoarder, you know. I have like all the gift money I get, you know, I put it in the bank for college. And then I'm really paranoid about spending my money because I'm afraid I'm going to spend it on something that's not worth it. I'll get home and be like, oh, I don't want this anymore, you know, so.
You can spend it on gas.
Yeah, I'll buy yours because I'm just a freshman.
Thanks.
I know, like with me, I save most of it because I'm oldest of 5, so my parents are never going to be able to pay for college. So I kind of want to put away for that, you know, ensure my future and everything. And the only time I will spend something is like if I go out with my friends, I'll buy food. Or like most of my spending money goes towards food, and what's left over is for music, you know, classic rock.
Oh yeah.
So our Spotlight guest, Nicole, found that she became even more responsible with money and appreciated its value when she started working for it.
Next, she tells us why she didn't buy an iPod even though she had the money to purchase it.
She also talks about how she thinks that teenagers gambling and having their own credit cards are examples of being irresponsible with money.
Like a lot of kids in school, they gamble, and that was not very responsible because they would just end up owing money and having less than they did before. I don't think it's a good idea for most teenagers to have credit cards. I know I don't have one, but if you were to have one, you should pay it off yourself and not rely on your parents to pay it off, because you're not going to learn the value of money doing that. And I know people who are teenagers who just go and buy whatever they want because they know that their parents are going to pay it off. They aren't teaching their kids to be responsible. They aren't setting a good example. Now that I'm working, I'm more responsible with money because when you work for money, you learn to appreciate the value of money more. I really wanted an iPod, and I had the money in the bank, and I really just wanted to go out and buy it for myself. And yeah, I didn't get it because I have CDs. I can download music and just burn it, whatever, and I didn't really need an iPod to put the music on. So I decided I should just save the money, and then I ended up getting one later for my birthday anyway, so it worked out.
Has any of you resisted buying an item that was expensive, even though you might have had the money for it?
I have, yeah, but I usually end up going back and getting it anyway because it sits in the back of my mind, and I'm like, I really want that. So I'll save up a little longer so I have enough extra money to get through till my next paycheck, and I'll go back and get it.
See, my problem is I'm so afraid of the thought of it lingering in my mind, driving me crazy, that I'd just buy it right then.
Yeah, I'm not good at resisting. I'll just go buy it. Yeah.
Well, recently I just got a new phone, and I saw a different phone that I liked better, and I really want to get that, but I've been kind of hesitant because I'm thinking I just want to save my money. I don't want to spend $300 on a phone, but I think I'm going to get it.
See, I think if you let it linger in the back of your mind long enough, my biggest fear is always, oh, if I buy it, am I actually going to wear this or use this, And if I think about it long enough and I truly still want it at the certain amount of time, the end of, then I know I'm going to use it, so. Yeah.
I know with me, I'll see something, I'll just be like, I have to have it. I was walking into a music store and I saw this great collection, Aerosmith Greatest Hits, and I was like, oh, I have to get it. I have to. So, and I use it too, though, so it was a good buy.
Have to. That's the best CD.
My ending's like Nicole's. I wanted to buy a TV for my room, even if it was just a small little one with a VCR. But my parents just got me one for Christmas anyway, and it's a huge screen, so I'm satisfied.
I'd be satisfied too. Yeah. I think it's obvious that gambling is definitely being irresponsible with your money, but what about credit cards? Do any of you guys have one, or do you think it's a good idea for teenagers to have them?
I think it's a really bad idea for teenagers to have credit cards because I don't know, myself personally, I'd probably just swipe it and spend $500 in one shot. But maybe with someone who's more responsible it'd be good, but for me, I know not for me. But.
I think it can kind of be a good thing because carrying a lot of cash around could sometimes be a problem. I know myself, I always carry a lot of cash around because my job, it pays cash, and then I just stick it in my wallet, and I've lost a wallet with $260 in it, so that was kind of a blow to my income right there. But I think with a credit card, if you lose it, you just report it lost and everything, and it's not like you're losing the money, and it's easier to keep track of and everything.
I'd rather physically just have the cash because, like Marissa said, you don't know how much it's going to add up to and it's going to keep coming up. So I'd rather just pay with cash to know, at least I know how much I can spend. I know my budget.
Cash feels good too.
Yeah.
But if used responsibly, a credit card gives you a lot of things that cash doesn't. It's safer to carry around with you, or it builds up your credit for when you're older. So if teenagers can use it responsibly, then it offers them a lot of positives as well.
Yeah, definitely. I have something that looks like a credit card. It's a prepaid one from my dad, and I can't, I know how you said you just swipe it and all of a sudden you've spent $500. I have a set limit of money that's put there, and it works for my lifestyle because of just my home situation. And I think it's actually really teaching me a lot about how much money I have available to me. And I think it's relative because now the money that I have for myself at this time in my life, I think can compare to a higher amount I'd have when I have a career. And I already am learning how to manage it and how much I can spend and how much I can't spend and how much I have to leave and wait for something to happen.
Yeah, I think as long as there should be a limit for a certain type of thing. I read in a magazine about a credit card that teenagers can carry that you have, say you want to buy a sweater and your parents put on there that you can't spend more than $50 on a sweater. And if this is a $60 sweater, when you go to swipe the card, it won't let you buy it.
That's actually a good idea.
I think that's really good because then you don't have to worry about going into debt. And because that would be my biggest thing, I would go into debt.
I think those prepaid cards are a lot better than just regular credit cards because you have the set amount of money, and it teaches you to be more responsible because you know that you have that amount and you don't really want to go over it. So I think responsibility is being taught by having that.
Yeah, kind of like gift cards. Like, you know, I'll always use a good,
Yeah.
like, I always get gift cards at Barnes & Nobles, so, you know, that works.
Yeah. The Old Testament describes the Hebrew practice of giving the first portion of everything back to God in gratitude.
This included produce, livestock, income.
And they even dedicated their firstborn child to God.
This is where the expression first fruits came from, and the practice is called tithing.
Many Christians follow this tradition of giving 10% of their income to the church, to charities, or some combination of the two.
This tithe is the first 10% that is produced, not what's left over.
Next, Nicole tells us who her role models are when it comes to being responsible with money and why she thinks it's important to donate a portion of your money to charity.
I think I learned being responsible mostly from my parents, especially my dad, who never goes out and buys junk or stuff that he doesn't need. My parents, they donate to the church and charity, and I think that's an important part of being responsible with your money, because there are people who need the money more than us. There's a story in the Bible where master leaves and he gives each of his 3 servants some money, and he comes back to see what they've done with it, and he finds out that the first 2 have invested it and they have doubled their profits, and the third one just put it away and buried it and ended up with the same amount of money, which teaches you that you can't just put money away. Use the gifts that you have and make them grow and put them to good use, rather than just forget about them or just put them away.
Do you think it's important to give a portion of your money to charity?
I do. I get $60 a month for allowance. That's like $15 a week. And I always give $3 to my church and $3 to like St. Vincent de Paul or another like charity. And I give 10% of my paycheck too, which it's always like different amounts. So.
Yeah, giving to charity is very important to me also. My Uncle Joe is a missionary priest in Siberia, and the people there are very poor. And he also has a youth group, and every month I send him a little bit of money so the youth group can go out and do something fun, like have a bowling night.
Jesus told us it's important to share what we have with those who are less fortunate than us, and some people can't even work if they wanted to make money. So it's important that we help them out, or you know, support our church and the ministry it does.
I don't necessarily give to charity like itself, like different charity groups, but I have an aunt in Lebanon who she is really, really poor. I mean, she lives on like 1 piece of bread a day and a bowl of soup, and that's basically it. So within my family, you know, my mom, dad, my brother, we all try to send her at least $50, at least, you know, once a month. You know what I mean? Just to help her, you know, get what she needs and live. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I definitely think it's really important because, I mean, we're doing pretty well here in America and everything, and we don't really know, like, how much worse off some people have it. So I think it's really important to give some of what we have to, because, like, 10%, I know, like, sometimes 10% can be, like, more than somebody else's 100% is, you know what I mean? So it makes a lot of difference, even if it's not really that big of a chunk of your money.
Mm-hmm.
So what does your faith teach you about being responsible with money?
You have to know that God can change everything like that. And yes, he will supply your needs, supply you with, like, he will fulfill your needs and stuff, but you have to carry out his will with the gifts he gives you. And you have to use those gifts properly.
And you can't make money an idol either.
Yeah.
And it's important to remember that the ability to make money is a gift, and that that's not something that we should deal with irresponsibly by throwing that away or whatnot.
Yeah,
Right.
he has given us that ability to make money, and it's just like our responsibility just to help the less fortunate.
It definitely is. In the Gospel of Luke, it is written that Jesus told his followers that it would be easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than for a rich person to enter the kingdom of God.
Is that because money's bad?
In and of itself, money is not bad. But when we have everything we want, it can be tempting to think that we don't need God in our lives.
We can begin to believe that money represents security or can buy happiness.
When this happens, money challenges the place of God in our lives.
We can let money become so important in our lives that we will do anything to get it and keep it.
When money becomes the motivation, it influences our decisions.
Christians should make decisions by considering things in the light of the teachings of Jesus.
The Gospel of Matthew, chapter 6 reads, "No one can serve two masters. He will either hate one and love the other,
Or be devoted to one and despise the other.
How do you spend your money?
Are you responsible with it?
We want to know.
Contact us through our website.
The address is www.realfaithtv.com.
Or you can call us at 609-406-7402.
And remember that we came into this world with empty pockets.
And we'll leave this world the same way.
In the end, we'll be judged by how well we used what was entrusted to us.
This includes money, natural resources, time, talents, and the gift of life itself.
Thanks for watching.
We'll see you next time on
Real Faith TV. God bless.